Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining in, and thank you, AWS, for inviting me for this talks on Amazon AI Conclave. We are going to talk about some of our experiences about how we have transformed our customer experiences with AI-driven hyper-personalized journeys. Quick round of introduction about me and my organization. I'm Shoaib, founder and CEO for LUMIQ. I'm an MBA from Ahmedabad and engineer from NITK. I have around 20 years of IT experience. Worked across the globe, worked with companies like Google, Cisco, NASA, Yamaha, Winconics Drop, Intuitive Fairprice, Tanks. My overall experience has been building multi-dollar enterprise products. I'm an all-out enterprise guy, understand the enterprise landscape pretty well. Little bit about LUMIQ. LUMIQ is a financial services focused product and services company. We enable enterprises to monetize their data using our skills in data science, data engineering, MLOps, and deep business understanding. I think that's a key for us, that we are able to intermix technology and business very well. We are proud to be associated with AWS. We are AWS Advanced Consulting Partner. We have almost 25 common enterprise customers with AWS. We have a growing team. As of today, we are 200 plus team of PhDs, MTechs, engineers, and MBAs. We are located across the world now. We are in India, US, and Singapore. Let's go deep down and let's see the agenda. I think what we're going to do is we are going to talk about changing customer behavior, or typical how a new age digital customer looks at all the enterprise businesses. What are their expectations? Then what has been our approach to hyper-personalization? What is the kind of solution that we have built on top of AWS? We are going to talk about technology, architecture choices, and all those kind of things. Then I'm also going to share a couple of success stories from some of our customers about what we have done. So if you look at it, we now we moved from millennia to Gen Z, right? And these Gen Zs are already spoiled by likes of digital first companies, and they are expecting similar kind of behavior from a typical financial services enterprise, be it bank, be it insurance companies. And the challenge becomes much more because I always call it like when you are buying insurance, from your point of view as a customer, you are buying insurance, but from an insurance company point of view, you are applying for insurance. And that creates a lot of friction. How do you improve that kind of customer experience, or how do you match those customer expectations and it's not that insurance and all those banking companies are highly regulated, so they have to follow some regulatory practices. So how do you match these two expectations from your regulator and expectations from a customer, and still improves customer experience? Today's customers, their expectations as such are simple. They want you to know them better. They don't want you to be asking the same question again and again. I think all of us experience these things, that you call up call center and then you provide them some information, and then if you get dropped, then again same question comes up and you have to start your whole story again. So how do you handle those kind of things? You customer needs to get a feeling that they have been listened to, right? No, and when they shop anywhere else, they have a very definite timelines of doing things, right? So they want similar kind of experience from enterprise also. Nobody likes to hear that, okay, let me get back to you on this, or you call me after maybe tomorrow and then I'll be able to give you an answer. The customer wants that you should be able to help him then and there itself. They want their problem to be solved right now. And if they have raised an issue somewhere, then they want that issue should be reflected. You should be able to pick up from there and then move. So basically, your customers are wanting them to be like you should treat them as an omni-channel customer. That if I move from one channel to another, if I have written an email and then I call up your call center, my expectations are simple, that you should be able to pick up the thread from there and take it from there, right? And then your customers are asking, as enterprise customers are asking, if you're able to improve my onboarding journey, why can't you make my claim journey in the same way? Why don't you operate 24/7? Why do I have to wait on your call center for minutes before I can get somebody to talk to? So customer expectations are simple. Need to know me better. You need to help me faster, and you need to wow me everywhere. And these are 21st century customers. They want to be treated as a unique individual. Okay, they're expecting a very unique treatment from each of their enterprise service provider. The question is, how do you do that? How do you achieve those things without breaking or achieving some of the goals that have been set by your regulator, or some of the policies that have been set by regulator? Just extend it further. And when we talk about these curated experiences, or which our customers are demanding to be experiencing everywhere, it's not only about marketing, because so far I think focus when every time we talked about customer experience or curated experiences, we were talking about marketing. But what we say is that it is not about only marketing, it is about across the board. When our customers are interacting, they're expecting more personalized offerings. When they are in the sales journey, they are expecting you have to tell me upfront that what's the kind of, from onboarding to policy issuance or onboarding to account opening, how much time it's going to take, what are the documents that I need. If there's an issue, I want to know it upfront, right? During the operations, I want, if I'm an existing customer, I want to be treated differently. I don't want to wait forever. And again, I want offerings to be very flexible. It should be tailor made for me. It should be, if I start my journey on website and I get dropped, and if I call center, I should be able to pick it up from there, whether digital, mobile, physical. It should be all seamless for me. If you talk about customer service, if you already have some information about me, can you not pick it up? If I was trying to pay a insurance premium and somehow it failed, and I am calling your call center, it's not that difficult to know that most probably I'm calling for this kind of inquiry, that what happened to my payment, right? So these are some of the expectations from our customers. If we talk about after sales service, if there's a retention and claims kind of calls, especially in calls, how can you just you're smoothing my journeys at the time of onboarding, can you also smoothen my journey at the time of claim? Can I also have like one click claim process where I don't have to do much, right? If all the documents are in place, if I have everything there for you, why can't you process my claims also much more faster? And then again, TAT. I want to know what is my TAT, when I'm going to get approval or information about the claim outcome. So in a way, customers, it's not only about your experience improvement on the onboarding. Customers are expecting from perspective right through onboarding, servicing, retention, and closure. They want the same experience everywhere. All in all, that's what we were talking about, that hyper personalization is no longer only about marketing. It's about your customers demanding curated experience every time, everywhere. What we have done is, let me move to our approach, how we have been able to do it for some of our customers. At a very high level, there are always, I always talk about that there are two parts, two big pieces to this puzzle. One is about what kind of data you have and how do you leverage that data, right? And definitely you can't do all these kind of things without making use of technology. Okay, so what we have done is we have kind of you need a solution which should be able to use both internal and external data. It should be able to get insights from that data using latest AI ML tools. You should be able to on the left side, what you see is that you need to collect all different touch points across the journey of a customer, whether at the time of lead or onboarding or operations or sales and after sales service, all those steps. So you have to collect all this data at scale. You have to collect all the data from all different sources. You have to organize and unify this data so that you are able to make use of this data. So this data has to be harmonized. It has to be made available. And when we talk about these things, you need to be able to identify, tag. If the customer is same, you should be able to tag. So kind of we take an approach where we say that along with this unified customer data layer, you should also build a customer MDM, which helps you to identify your customers properly. And then along with that, you should also put your enrichment process. To give an example of enrichment process, that there are different touch points at which your different kind of customer data is being collected, right? Like to give an example of a motor insurance company, they don't get much of the information about customer at the time of issuing the policy. If it is being issued through an agent, you don't get much of the information. But at the time of filing claim, customer is willing to provide you all the information, and all that information will come to you through different channels. But the key is that how do you enrich your existing customer data using that information? And it's a continuous process where you will keep on getting more and more of this information, and then you have to you enrich your existing customer profile. Or another example is that there's a lot of information which is available in the documents. Currently, the processes are only taking out the required information from document, and they are ignoring rest of the information which is available about the customer. Can you also look at all that information, store it somewhere, and it can help you enrich your existing customer profile? Now, once you have created a unified customer data hub, what you do is you need to have intelligence built into your system that we kind of typically use AI/ML, and sometimes these are simple rule-based systems can also work, can provide you some of the information to you. We build all those kind of things, and then we have some kind of an execution engine which can be either helping you pass on that information to some other system, or helping you run some campaigns, or some of those things. So, or provide this data to something else if it is a batch kind of system. So that's the overall LUMIQ's approach to end-to-end curated and unique experiences, and it is enabled by smart data management and AI/ML. So this is we've tried to put a sample for onboarding curated journey, and so basically it starts on the top. The first step is you have to have a strong data foundation, and that data foundation should allow you to collect structured, semi-structured, unstructured, all different kind of data sets. It should be scalable. It should be it should allow you to the enrichment process to do those enrichments that we just spoke about. It should be able to give you kind of cataloging or metadata capturing capabilities that should enable you to harness this data by anybody in the organization. Then typically on top of it, we build a customer analytics layer, which has a hyper-personalizer, customer intelligence engine, AI/ML models, sometimes rule-based map taggings, campaign systems, communication, all sorts of things on top of it. Then all this data is exchanged via some third-party systems using kind of a API, and this API has to be scalable so that you are able to go to any scale to achieve your goals. And you have to also keep in mind that your loads may not be uniform for this layer. Your loads during month ends might be very different than your typical day loads. Okay, so overall this and then you have your acquisition platform on top of it, where you will have typical journeys on onboarding. It might be a insurance buying journey or a account opening journey by a bank, or all those kind of things. So that's the layered architecture that we built. Basically, this architecture, again, I just want to emphasize that it should be flexible enough to collect any kind of customer data, be it coming in batch, stream, any volume, any format, internal, external, basically all kind of things. This system, sometimes you have to build it in a polyglot persistence way. Like you might store your raw information in some kind of a S3 bucket, because but you might keep a standardized or a more harmonized data in maybe an RDBMS, and maybe when your serving layer might be in some kind of a DynamoDB, just to make sure that you are able to achieve those latencies that are demanded by the other applications. You should be able to integrate easily. Like if some other system needs this information from your system, you should be able to provide all different kind of integration points, be it API, be it CDC, be it some other kind of SQL kind of interface or whatever. You should be able to run campaigns at large scale, and you should be able to integrate with the marketing automation tools. But also, when you get these feedback from those tools, you should be able to process that feedbacks in a very scalable manner, because that's where we saw that sometimes there is a challenge. That how do you take that feedback, because that helps you improve. Okay, so and I think we always say that hyper-personalization is a journey. It's not a destination. You continuously need to improve and evolve this. And the main challenge is, how do you design and execute this journey without waiting for years, right? That's the time to market is the most critical factor as of today. How do you start your journey and start delivering value, business value, in maybe 3 to 4 months, and then continuously keep on approaching. So take a Lego block kind of approach, where you start with some components and then you keep on enhancing as you go. Let's move to the next slide. I will take you let's go down deeper at one more level, where we can see that what are the technology. Although I have created a simplified view of the technology here, because there are a lot of nitty-gritty and a lot of details. On the left side, what you see is that there are various data sources from where you will collect and data. It might be through API. You might use DMS if it is a kind of system which allows you to do CDC. If CDC is not possible, then you might run blue jobs to get data from that other system. Some systems might be exchanging, or you might have to process data and give it to them in some kind of a SFTP bucket, or there might be some kind of stream which might be processed through managed Kafka. Then typically you use Glue or EMR for processing these kind of data sets. And we have a combination of data store, which is S3, RDS, or Redshift, or a combination, as I spoke about that. There might be some time you might be using polyglot persistence. Then we also allow exploration, because if you want to analyze this data, there is you need to allow people to easily explore this data. So we typically enable Athena on top of all kind of different kind of data sources, and then typically use SageMaker for modeling and deployment, and for exchanging, kind of enabling either model output, model inferences, or providing data access to any other system. You use Amazon API Gateway. Okay, and at the bottom of it, which is very critical for any financial services organization, we use KMS and IM tools to restrict access to some of the sensitive information. And also, as you all know, that data privacy is becoming more and more important for any organization. We also use Amazon KMS service to encrypt all the PII information. And this is provided, only a program-based access is provided to whosoever is requesting access for that kind of data. Then on the left side, you also need to manage your metadata for your data. So that's where all the data guys, glue catalog and all those kind of things comes in handy. And then you put a monitoring layer using CloudWatch and all. So this is basically the overall technology landscape built on AWS. It's a Lego block kind of architecture, which you can plug in components. We can plug in, like I mentioned, that if you have to have a very low latency serving of your data, we have also used DynamoDB. Okay, and each organization has its own kind of data and processes. So you use custom AI/ML models that keeps driving these processes. You have some of the very good pre-built tools in Amazon ecosystem, like we use TestRack for getting information from documents. We use Amazon recognition services for doing some of the matching of analyzing some of the documents or photos of customers. So those are some of the tools that are being used in this process. So after this, let me take you through some of the success stories, some of the recent success stories that we have been, some of the benefits that we have been able to achieve with our customers. First is the customer insurance customer. We have built for them as a smart product recommendation in Jinjin, and it's the beauty of this initiative was that it needs to serve information in real time as well as batch. In insurance, typically you have PASA products, PASA offerings, which is like pre-approved sum assured kind of offering, where based on your profiling. So we did customer profiling, and based on that, we were able to predict that what is the propensity to buy a new product for this customer, and then if the propensity to buy is high, what is the next set of product that we can sell to this customer. So, and if you're getting partner data, then we were supposed to generate these PASA offers at scale, and this process needs to be finishing in a finite time, and there were it was also API-fied. API-fication was also done for the same system, because then during the buying journey also they were using this output of this. With this process, with this implementation, we were able to almost see an uptick of 23% in improved offerings by customers, because we were able to generate more personalized recommendations for customers instead of more rule-based. We were able to see 9% improvement in campaigns cost, 9% reduction in campaign cost, because we were instead of bombarding each customer with similar kind of offers, we were able to tailor-made offers. Okay, so we could see 9% cost reduction. We saw 17% improvement in cross-sell marketing campaigns, and this also helped improve our CSAT scores. The second success story is about again an insurance customer, and we kind of use our hyper personalization engine to improve onboarding journey. In this, we kind of this is where we make use of TestRack, Amazon TestRack, and Amazon Recognition for gleaning a lot of information from documents, and this was used to improve that. So we were almost able to shave off during the whole customer journey. We were able to shave off almost 12 minutes for the customer, and that helped us improve And in the end, it also helped us to improve STP straight through processing by almost 30% for this customer. And we also saw that we were able to improve that for underwriters by almost 15%. So those were some of the direct benefits. And since we were able to save some of the customer time, obviously there was improvement in customer experience. The last journey it's a favorite of mine because that's where we could harness the full potential of our data platform. What we created for this customer was we created a single view of customer which cut across all the touch points that he had with the customer, be it call center, be it agent, be it branch, be it emails and tickets, everything was unified in one place. And then we were running custom models on top of it, which were able to provide customer sentiments. We were able to predict what is the next best action for the customer and what is the next best product for the customer. It was models were all deployed on SageMaker. We could see that with the implementation of this view was even extended to sales executives as well as customer support executives, and they were able to make use of this data for improving customer experience. We saw an overall increase of 40x in lead responsiveness and we were able to, in fact, we were also able to improve response to leads, and which is a critical factor. As soon as you get a lead, then how do you respond to this least amount of time that you take to respond to lead? Our chances of success will improve. We were able to also had a consistent engagement with customer across all channels. If a customer used to call at call center or WhatsApp or whatever, we were able to unify all that communication in one place. And overall, it helps us improve the C-test score for the customer. Overall, I would just like to reemphasize that hyper-personalization, although everybody talks about it, but it's not only about marketing. Your customers are demanding curated experiences every time, everywhere. This problem can be solved by smart data management and AI/ML across all customer and life cycle, all customer journeys or touch points, as well as customer life cycle. And it's a key to deliver a curated, holistic, and consistent customer experience across all your different channels. Thank you so much. That's all from my side. Feel free to send me your questions and answer. Happy to answer those. Thank you so much.